Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Burning at Both Bookends. My name is Karen, also known as Between Paperback Worlds.
And I'm Sasha Bonet, also known as Reading Sprints and Chai Sips.
And this is episode 2, and we have a lot of topics to get to, and Miss Sasha Bonet has them.
So, on the docket for today, we do have the Children of Blood and Bone adaptation. So, we do have book adaptations. That's what we're going to be discussing a good chunk of today because we have a lot of book adaptations that we want to talk about.
mm-hmm,
So, Blood and Bone is yours. So, go ahead
mm-hmm.
and, get into it.
I am not excited about this movie coming out. And one of the main reasons is because I read all 3 books. They're all actually right here. And book 1 was great. Book 2 was horrible. And book 3 retconned everything from book 2. So the reason I wasn't excited about this movie series coming out is because I didn't know if it was going to be all 3 books into one movie or a trilogy of movies. And if it was, I was concerned about how they were going to deal with everything that happened in book 2 for movie 2, and honestly in book 3 for movie 3, because nothing happened. It was a whole new villain, a whole new everything. And also I was concerned because while I was reading these books, I know nothing about African culture or anything like that. While I was reading the books, African people came out and said, hey, the author is claiming it to be African inspired and all this stuff, but this stuff is not adding up.
Mm-hmm.
And then while the movies were in production, the author came out and was like, hey, this is in production. African people, please put in your resumes, do all this stuff, because you
Mm-hmm.
might be in the film. And there was
Right.
no African people in the film. And
We
then the
don't know if
stuff,
there's no
well,
African people
in
in the
main
film.
in main roles.
Casting. Yeah.
Yes. And then lastly, she just has some stuff going on with Amanda Steinberg, which seems to be one sided in all honesty. So
Okay. So I pulled up just in case anybody is kind of wondering what we're talking about. Um I have to figure out how to show it to you all, but I can read it to you all. It's just a quick little bit on it. So it says, on the heels of the trailer reveal for the big screen adaptation of Children of Blood and Bone, the book's author is claiming that an on-set ordeal traumatized her, and fans have been left with more questions than answers. So I think that's the biggest controversy that has come out lately is that
mhm.
she kind of came out without coming out and saying anything. Honestly, she didn't give any details to anything. She just basically was like, I will not be promoting this movie. I will not be talking about this anymore. And I think Black people, especially, let's just go into that, are more on the side of we don't care. Like, because they were angry when she first said, oh, these are the people that are going to be in the movie. And the fact that, like you said, she said that, people from the continent of Africa can send in their tapes to, possibly get some roles. People send in tapes. That never happened. Um,
Allegedly.
allegedly that never happened, with the tapes that she said that they could send in. And so everybody was kind of on the fence with what it was going to be like. Then we get a trailer. Everyone is still a little up in arms, but after the trailer comes out, then she says, hey, I'm very angry. I'm very sad. Some traumatizing stuff has happened, and I'm not going to be a part of this any longer.
But
But
I would like to
doesn't tell
point out
anyone anything.
I
Go
would like
ahead.
to point out that only people who read the books are angry. I think most of
True.
the rest of the world is treating this movie as another Black Panther, where all the Black people are coming out to support a Black fantasy movie, which
True.
is great. But again, and I don't know what it was about this movie, but when I watched the trailer, it looked a little cheap. And I heard people talking about it, certain people,
Hmm.
usually from the African diaspora of it all,
Yeah.
and um, they said, first of all, the accents are atrocious. When English people and American people do African in quotations accents, they're always very common. The same way we always say American accents on other people is just common. There's no specific state they're coming from.
Right.
They're saying that that's what it is about the accents, but also so it's not we can't tell this is a Rwandan accent, Nigerian accent. We can't
True.
tell. But
Okay. Yeah.
also they're saying that from afar it looks beautiful, but the second there's a close up scene, everything looks cheap.
Yeah.
And again, with their clothing, I wouldn't know what looks good and what doesn't. So
True.
it is up to them to decide that.
So okay,
But
so I'm
it did
also
look
gonna
cheap
let
to me
y'all.
too.
I'm also gonna let y'all know the characters. So we do have Amanda Steinberg as Princess Amari, Damson Idris as Prince Enon, uh, Thuso Bidu as Zele, Cynthia Erivo as Admiral Kia,
Mm.
Viola Davis is in this, Idris Elba, who else? Ira Star, Regina King, Chiwetu Ejiofor. I think that's it as they're showing it to me. Oh wait, we have Lashana Lynch, we have Richard Mofe Damijo, Tosin Cole,
Let me tell
Bucky
you guys.
Thackeray. We have
Okay,
so this cast is stacked.
let me tell you
So they
how
did
this
spend a
is
lot of
wrong
money on
casting.
that.
I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you how this is wrong casting for a
Yes.
lot of different characters.
Right.
The whole point of the book, well, one of the main points of the book is a caste system, a race system, where
Built on colorism.
built on colorism, where the
Right.
darker skinned, brighter haired people like Zele, which is another problem they said in African cultures, in the specific African country, I just don't remember which one, that she's uh representing in this book, don't even have a Z letter, so or a Z sound. So
Yeah.
Zele being her name is insane. But I don't know if that's true or not. But so it's usually the darker skinned, lighter haired people have the power. So they're also the poorest, they're the most oppressed, all the things.
Right.
While the brighter skinned, darker features people are the kings, the queens, the monarchs. So first of all, Damson Idris is darker than his sister, but because he's a man, misogyny puts it on us, no one cares as much. He's a warrior, he's outside, he's doing all the things. However, he is way too dark to be playing a monarch in this film. Way too dark.
Right.
I don't. There's a whole controversy about Amanda Steinberg being in a movie, taking another role from a dark skinned person. Her role is to be light skinned. She's light skinned in the book. She's still, in her mother's eyes, too
Too
dark,
dark.
but she is light skinned in the book because she is a part of the monarchy. So that it makes, I don't know what the other reasons are, but color alone, this is actually the perfect role for her. Of everything else she's played where she should have been darker, this is where she should be light. Um, I'm tired of seeing Cynthia Erivo and everything. I kind of am,
Girl,
but
I don't like her. I don't.
but
That might be controversial.
it
Just
is.
for me to say I don't like her. I don't. I just don't.
But she's not right for this role either. Again, one, dark skin, and not saying that's a bad thing, but for the person that she's playing basically the second in command to the king. She's the warrior on his side. She's not big enough. I hate to say it, she's not big enough. She's not tall enough, she's not thick enough, she's not anything enough. Now, have we seen in Black Panther where Lupita Nyong'o and Denai are skinnier women fighting their behinds off? Yes. But in the book, she's an opposing figure. Like, I should be able to think, oh, you lift weights.
Or
Like,
you will beat my ass.
yes. And it's just not giving that because technically she's not supposed to have powers. So this is a woman fully on strength and leadership and all that stuff. She can beat me up. No
Right.
magic, no nothing. Cynthia Erivo does not give that in the slightest. Um, Zele, she's fine, I guess. She could have been darker. I wish she was a chocolatey brown, lovely chocolate color, but she's still dark skinned, so that's still good. Her brother is decent. He should be bigger. Like he was a buffoon of a man, like a huh of a man. It was giving himbo a little bit. Um, Everything else is fine. Viola Davis playing Mama Agba. She's not old enough. Like she's supposed to look like
Maybe they made her older in the film.
I saw it. She was like Viola Davis. Like
Oh,
she's supposed to honestly look like, in my opinion, that old lady from Princess and the Frog who lived in that
yeah,
tree.
because that wasn't that Mama Akbar anyway. Like in so many cultures, right? We have the same figure, even if they're named something different. And so if they're not old enough, they can't play that. Like I would have loved even I don't know a lot of African uh actors and actresses like that, but Jennifer Lewis, because she's older and she
Mm,
did do Mama OD in Princess and the Frog. She
mm,
could have done Mama Akbar.
mm-hmm. Um, she might have been too light for that role, but
Probably,
and
probably.
I don't want nobody in blackface. This is not a Zoe Saldana,
No, I don't.
Nina Simone thing. I don't got
Oh,
time.
yeah,
But the casting itself isn't the greatest. Again, not an African person in sight. Not and a lot of the black Brits on there consider that they have African background, but y'all all still have to put on the accent for it. So not an African person in sight.
yeah. I don't get that part of it of not going to the source. If we're doing an African story, why don't we use the African people? If we're doing, um, like Damson Idris playing an American, just like when Idris Elba did it for what is that show he did?
The Wire.
The Wire. Mind you, back then
Mm-hmm.
I never watched The Wire. I've never watched The Wire, and I have yet to watch the Damson Idris show either, because again, they are not American black.
They don't know the struggle.
They don't know the struggle. You can read about a struggle, you
Mm-hmm.
can learn about a struggle,
Mm-hmm.
but you could have just got a regular Negro from the hood
Mm-hmm.
that actually do this in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah,
I just there's
yeah.
so much tainted with this series, in my opinion. Also, let me say this before it even comes out. If Cynthia Erivo is playing Storm when Jamie Lawson is right there, I'ma be pissed off.
Jamie, which one is Jamie Lawson?
From Sinners, Pale Pale Moon.
Oh, girl, girl.
When Jamie Lawson is
Jamie
right
Lawson
there,
can play. Yeah, she can play the hell out that role.
and I hate to say this, Cynthia Erivo, one, I'm oversaturated with her. I don't want her in it. I don't like that she
I
played
started
Harriet
disliking
Tubman.
her when they got her to play Harriet, and I
I
never
didn't like
watched
that.
Harriet. I did
Mm-mm.
not watch that because what the hell do you mean a person from across the pond is playing
A
an
black
American
activist, American activist. I mean, not
black
activist, but yeah,
woman who was enslaved in America?
I didn't like that.
Don't piss me off.
But no, again, she doesn't have the stature for many of things. She's too short, and I also there's
This is the
this.
thing too, because she also says that she wears high heels for uh actual, like she said she loves high heels,
Yeah,
obviously.
they be like
But
8 inches tall. She be wearing
and
high heels.
I get loving them and wanting to wear them. Kudos to her. But then she also said in an interview once that she wears them because something happened with her body at some point, and it's comfortable for her heels and her arches to be arched and her hips to be up. That's great. How the hell is she going into these movies with no heels on, being 2 feet 2 inches off the ground?
I think she
I'm
wore
just
heels
over
in
it.
Wicked.
She did,
Yeah,
and had nails.
but I don't want her to play Storm. I don't want her to play Storm. I hate to say this. I hate to say it quite a lot, but No. I think she has too distinctive of a face to play Storm. I don't know how to say that without being rude, but her face is just way too distinct and
I don't know if distinct is the right word. I just don't think. I think Storm one should be dark skinned. That's number one. Like Holly Berry play her. That's great. That's fine.
with
Um,
those crusty wigs. She
she
shouldn't have been
play
playing
her.
Storm either.
She shouldn't have been. It was fine. Whatever they took, whoever at the time. Because again, I'm not into the comic, or at least I wasn't then. So I didn't know what Storm was supposed to look like anyway. And I think most of us did it who didn't, who were not into the comic books and
That's the
stuff.
thing. In most of the cartoons, in most of them, she
She's
is
dark skinned.
she's a dark skinned,
She's
tall,
dark
skinny
skinned.
lady.
She is. But again, in my head, I was just like, maybe they just made her that way. I don't know. I wasn't into the lore of it all back then when I was
Mm-hmm.
a little children. I wasn't into the lore back then. But now that I am, and I know exactly that one, she should be dark skinned. She is from the continent of Africa. She should be what she should be
Mm-hmm.
because it makes sense for her to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like pertinent to the story. If it's not pertinent to the story, I don't give a damn what color the person is. But if it's pertinent to the story, make them the way they're supposed to be. Um, let's move on to before we get to the most controversial one, uh, the one that was on Amazon Prime that I watched, which was what is it called?
Off campus.
Off
Off campus.
campus.
Yeah.
Off campus. Okay. My problem with a book adaptation is I don't think people know what adaptation actually means. So, um, when you adapt something from book format to the screen, all that really entails now, whatever the producers and the directors want to do, that's different. But a
Mm-hmm.
book adaptation just sorely means that you take what's on page, you put it on screen, and you fill out what needs to be there. So if you're reading a scene and there's two characters talking at a party, usually they don't give you the background of that scene. Usually they don't fill it out with extra characters and all of that when you're reading a book, right? That's what an adaptation is for. So if me and him are talking on screen and we're blocked out and it's just me and him, what's going on in the background? Is the music playing? Did it go down? Is it all of that stuff? That's just what an adaptation means. Now, when they take it and they put it on screen, they change the most craziest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The craziest stuff. For me, I read the first book of Off Campus. I watched that show, and 5 minutes into the actual freaking show, I hated it.
Mm.
I hated it. But here's the thing though, everything that had to do with everyone else, I was entertained because I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't read that yet, right? Because when you don't have context to something, you have nothing to compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
The main characters were making my ass itch. Like I
Okay.
hated it. I hated it because it didn't happen in that way and it didn't make sense the way it was happening on screen. And that's how I know most people, from what I understand, read the off campus series when they were younger. So they haven't gone back to that series in years.
Mm-hmm.
In years. Then you have the people who are just freaked out. So they just want to see kissing, sex scenes, and dick. Because there was a lot of dick. There was a lot of penises on my damn screen. And again, I was assaulted. I felt like without my consent, they threw penises in my face.
Okay.
So there was that. But again, we also had a the main FMC had an English accent.
Mm.
Now, was she built like how the FMC was supposed to be built? Yep, because big boobs. She had that. No ass. Um, so she was built the way she was supposed to be built. Everybody else, like his best friend's what do you call that? Sister. They made her trans. I don't know if she's actually not trans, non-binary.
Mm.
So she's non-binary, which is a great addition to the story. I haven't read anything past book one, so I don't know. She might be non-binary in all the other books or whatever. But if I'm thinking correctly, this was written so long ago. I don't think she would have been. I don't think that was an addition that anybody would have written years ago. But I hated her character. There were just so many things in this book that in the show that I was just like, what is this? And mind you, I gave the book a 4 star.
Also, you brought up a good point that when you were watching people react to the show, they chop and screwed it so much that people didn't even know why the show was called Off Campus.
That part, okay, I do remember telling you that. So off campus is called off campus because nobody lives on campus.
Mm-hmm.
They all live off campus. And everybody was like, so why is it called off campus?
Yeah.
Then they made him have a tattoo on his back that's never explained. And mind you, the reason why that's important to this story, for the show, because I don't even remember that in the book. So if it was in there, don't remember it.
Mm.
So that means it wasn't important at all. But they have a close-up scene in the first scene of this movie of his back tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And it lingers there while he's in the shower. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It lingers there. And I'm like, okay, so we're gonna find out what that actually means. We don't.
Oh,
It
well.
never gets brought up. Another thing, someone said in a TikTok video, they were explaining why it was important for um, Garrett, who is our MMC, to not take agency from our FMC because she had been sexually assaulted, she had been raped, and it sounded stupid. And I'm gonna tell you why. And in this show, or rather in the book, there is a part where she breaks up with him because of his daddy. And she wants to save him from this perceived like threat that she breaks up with him. He knows for a fact that she loves him, so he goes, "Oh," he tells everybody on campus, "That's my girl. I don't care if we broken up or not. She want to explore her options. Y'all bet she better not be exploring it with none of y'all."
Mm-hmm.
So there's a on campus, campus wide no touch. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't touch her, don't talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody abides by this rule, right? In this TikTok video that I saw, they were like, no, that takes her agency away. Let's go back to the first scene of this show. The first scene, he's in the shower at the rink place where,
Mm-hmm.
I don't do sports ball, but at the rink place, he's in the shower. She walks in, he has headphones in, so she can't hear that he's in the shower. It's kind of like an accidental happening, right? But when she realizes this man is in the shower and she can see him naked, she stands there way too long staring. So long that he has to say, "Can I help you with something?"
You
So you can
also
so you can stare at him while he's in the shower. If he would have walked in on you, immediate like, "Oh, you're a creep."
let's talk about the things that because you've talked my ear off about off
I have.
campus.
I
So
have.
you need to talk about the things that, such as him not going to her recital thing for himself. Like, talk about that.
Okay, so there is also a scene, like there's a scene in the book where she is supposed to be a composer, right? And that's what she is in the book. In the show, they made her a singer, and all this other shit, and they
Mm-hmm.
take her scholarship away. But that does not happen in the book. Um, but in the book, he loves her so much, even though she has broken up with him, that he on his own says, "I know she has a recital or whatever, the show program thing that she has to go to. And he went on his own volition because he wanted to support her, even though she has broken up with him. He sits in the back. She doesn't even know that he's there until they're both walking out the building and she sees him. And she asks him in the book, she asks him, "You came to see me?" And he was like, "Where else would I be?" Oh, that's romantic to me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's fast forward to the show where he's so like, oh, she don't want me to be there, that her friend has to tell her sneaky link, like, hey, Garrett is your boy. Get him to go to the showcase because they love each other. We know they love each other. So he's like, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? And she's like, figure it the fuck out. He goes to Garrett and goes, we're going to the showcase. We're all going to the showcase. And he's like, okay, have fun. And he's like, no, you're going too. And he's like, she don't want me there. I was like, that's not romantic. You had to be talked into going to support her.
Was there romance in this show for those two characters? Was there
I
romance? Was there chemistry? Was any of that there?
um
Because most people seem to like the people who read the books seem to like the adaptation.
I think they like it because they're freaked out and stupid.
Oh, well.
My thing is there's there is a little bit of romance. Like they have a little bit of key moment. However, in the book, that third person, that triangle that they're supposed to have, that they
Mm-hmm.
had throughout the whole damn show that made no fucking sense,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't hold up in the book. It doesn't hold up because once you start touching on a female, she starts to like you. So he starts to touch up on her, and they start touching up on each other, that she starts to forget about that second person, which makes sense. In the show, she didn't even touch her. She touched her motherfucking self. And she was like, "Oh, I'm ready for that next nigga." Like, what? What? So he helped you out and you still thinking about another guy? That was so weird to me.
Mm.
Even her, like in the show, her best friend is like, isn't that a little weird? Like, he treated you nice. He made sure you got what you needed out of the situation, and you still going to talk to somebody else?
Mm.
And she was like, yeah, of course. And I was just like, oh my god, oh my
Mm.
god, this is so bad. It's like they forced a lot of things. They didn't force the right things. And again, because I didn't read past book one, the other character stories were great.
Mm.
I was like, oh, this is so fun. But every time we got back to the main characters, I couldn't not compare it to the book. And
Mm.
that's where book adaptations, I think, lose it for me. To bring it back to our topic, that's where, it loses it for me, because there are things that are changed that would have actually made the story a lot better, a lot more in depth, a lot more romance, a lot more feelings, a lot like, why did we give his father, who is a woman beater, so many lines? He is a shadow in the background of Garrett's life. And he also beats women, like for fun. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he have lines? Why do we need to hear him speak?
Mm.
And then the part of the story that I on the show that I love the most is them showing Garrett's emotion when he cried in the car, when he was like, I wasn't big enough to save my mother from my father. That was a beautiful scene. That is a book adaptation A plus for me. You took a scene that was very small, that needed more words, that needed more fleshing out, and you made that a thing. Great.
Mm-hmm.
The breakup at the end of the show, stupid. It was
Mm.
just dumb. Because how the hell you leave her in the parking lot? You such a good man. You drove, you skirt, like the way he skirted out that parking lot. I thought he's about to go to the Grand Prix. Like, don't play with me.
Mm.
I just book adaptations for me don't do it. Like I think we just need fresher, newer ideas. Stop with the BS.
What are
But
some
we
book
like
adaptations that you think
oh
were done correct
we
before we get
talked
into
about this.
the one that's being made now?
Yeah, we talked about this before. I can't remember which ones I told you were good.
I think Pride and
Um
Prejudice was done very well.
okay, you watched that one, yeah.
I also think The Host by the same woman who
Mm,
created Twilight, what's her name? Stephanie Myers was done
Stephanie
well.
Meyer. Hmm.
Um, I have not read the Hunger Games books yet. I have much of I haven't read them yet. But people who read them said that they loved the books and the movies.
Yes, I
Um,
have heard that.
what else?
You know what? I did read what's the other one with Tristan for?
Divergent.
Divergent. I read the whole Divergent series. That was not one that was done well. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't really think of it right now. I don't think I have it on my mind which ones are done
I
well.
haven't watched. I mean, I haven't read The Hate You Give, but that's nothing with Mandela Steinberg in it. But the movie was really good. It was very good. Um, people said who read the book said it was very good. It's just she wasn't the right casting because she was too light again. But
Right. Right. I don't know. I'm looking. I don't remember which ones off the top of my head which ones have been
oh,
done right, but
A
I do
Discovery of
know.
Witches, that TV show, done
Hmm.
well.
You know one that was done well, The Walking Dead,
Yes. Um.
because a comic. Oh, Alice Oseman's
Oh, Heartstopper.
Heartstopper. Heartstopper is done amazingly well.
That's
But
honestly
that's
one of the
again,
best.
it is one of the best, and it goes from a graphic novel to TV. Great. The Walking Dead from graphic novels and novels
Mm,
to the great,
mm-hmm.
because they it fleshes out so much. It leaves so much up to the imagination that you could put anything in there, but everything from the books for the most part is in there, and they change
You
things that make sense.
you read The Umbrella Academy and Lock and Key. Do you think those were done well? Both of those are TV shows.
Um yes, actually. And those are again from comic books.
Yeah.
So I do think comic books make great TV adaptations or movie adaptations, which might be why we have so many Marvel movies. Um, yeah, I think comics make great TV book adaptations,
Mm.
but books, I don't know. It's like the people take these, again, you asked me for ones that are good, and mine are all comic and graphic novels. But there are so many that are done wrong. That's what's in my head right now. What's wrong?
Which ones are done
Because
wrong, in your opinion?
um the one with what is that? Frankenstein?
Oh.
The newest Frankenstein. Mind you, I've watched Frankenstein movies probably like my whole life. Not recently in like the last 10 years, but they were all bad. Um
Mm-hmm.
then you have the newest Frankenstein, but you also have that classic adaptation. Which one was the classic one that they just did?
Oh,
That Jacob Elordi was in.
Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights. Also trash. What I don't know. This one might be the worst one ever. Like I think they've done one. They did one with the black guy, which was great. I heard
Mm-hmm.
that one was great. I never watched that one, but I heard that one was great. But this newest one where people were barking like a dog and licking grass and shit. What is that? In my head, everyone wants to get on this book talk trend that they think book talkers just like to be freaked out.
Mm.
So everything has to be sexual.
I love Maze Runners too, but they are nothing like the books. So like they're good movies,
Yes,
but
probably not good books,
well, they're good books, they're good movies.
but they're
They are
different.
not they are very that is a book to movie adaptation where they just take liberties and they still end up well. So there's that because like they all get to the same ending.
Right.
It's just everything in between. Like book 1 and movie 1 pretty one to one. Movie 2 and 3 and book 2 and 3 Nothing similar, honestly, at all. I literally have notes on it, and but again, still a good movie series,
Yeah.
but it's not like the books, for honestly. Other than the names of the characters, ain't nothing the same. So
Yeah. So let's get into the newest one that's being adapted.
yeah.
Haunting and Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton.
Oh
You
well,
have not read that. I have, but you have read what was
does
it?
it
Does It
hurt?
Hurt? So Does It Hurt is not being adapted, at least not right now. But Haunting Adeline is, and everyone is either in a camp of this is great or who cares or WTF, why are we doing this? For me, I'm in the camp of I don't care, but also WTF, why are we doing this?
Hmm.
Um, because I've realized that people do seem to like this dark romance era that we are in, not understanding that if it says dark romance, we're still supposed to have romance. We're still supposed to have pining, longing, uh, gestures, love. All of that stuff is still supposed to be there. The world is just supposed to be dark. Not you be dark to me,
Just the world.
just the world
Yeah.
we live in. Now, some dark things can happen to me or to you or to everybody or somebody around me or whatever, but you and I are not
Hmm.
supposed to be dark to each other.
Hmm.
That's not how that works.
Hmm.
And nobody seems to get that. I don't think people get that. And I for one was never going to I already unhold the second book. I never even got to read the second book because the first book was trash. The second book never got to read it, and I will not be watching that movie. I don't give a damn what's going on in life.
Well, can you confirm that in the first book was the main character lady assaulted?
Yes,
So it was indeed rape.
if this is the thing, and I think people are being disingenuous with the way that they saw her being raped, and so
Okay.
is the author.
Okay. Explain, because I didn't
Because,
read.
right, so what happens is what we learn as the reader, right, which happens in dark romance a lot, is the reader is in on the thoughts of the FMC and the MMC.
Mm-hmm.
The FMC doesn't know the thoughts of the MMC, and the
Mm-hmm.
MMC does not know the thoughts of the FMC. That's the point, their thoughts.
Uh-huh.
But because we're reading it, we know their thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So we learn about the FMC having these kink type feelings of being watched by a stranger, danger, right? So, and mind you, she even says, like, my mom wants to know why the hell I want to move into this damn house that's supposed to be haunted and all this nonsense. I just like danger. She doesn't tell this to anybody.
Okay.
Okay. So when the MMC starts to stalk her, she's scared out of her motherfucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
She's calling the cops. If you that's the thing. If she was so into it, why were the cops called?
Yes, because she likes the thought of danger. She doesn't like to actually be in danger with people that she doesn't know.
So
Mm-hmm.
he's this man is so much of a stalker that he gets into this home. He leaves her flowers. Um, but she doesn't leave. Again, you might be thinking, why doesn't she leave? Because mind you, as a reader, I was thinking, bitch, you want to stay in the home that
Mm-hmm.
somebody done been in? No, but she doesn't leave, right? So now the disingenuousness is now coming from the author because no, look, she likes it.
Because she's
She
staying.
don't know that man
Mm-hmm.
because so he starts to break into the home. Then one day he actually does break into the home, pins her down, and rapes her with a gun. And she cries. She also cries.
Jesus Christ.
And then they're together. They're together. After that, she's like, no, not mind you. After that happens, she doesn't stay in the home anymore. She goes to her friend's house because she's like, the fuck is going on here? Right? He shows up at the friend's house. The friend wasn't there at this moment. He shows up at the friend's house and he like, you ran from me? And then they have consensual sex and now they together. I was like, but again, when did they ever have a consensual conversation of, I like to be watched? I like danger. It's the same thing she did in Does It Hurt? Is it not? Right? Because he
That
pushed
one
that
was
bitch,
worse because
he pushed that bitch over the water
in the sexually assaulted her.
and sexually assaulted her. And at least he admitted it later. He said, you know what? Why do you like me? I raped you.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's like, oh, you ain't mean it. What you mean you ain't
Right,
mean
right.
it? You did it.
I like that. When did you start liking that? Let the reader know when you started liking that. And when y'all discuss that you like that, so that he didn't think, because if I'm thinking while I'm assaulting you that I'm actually hurting you, we're not on the same page. If you like the thought of this certain action, but I don't know you like the thought of this certain action, I'm actually trying to hurt you.
Yeah. Because you didn't know that he did not know that she liked that stuff. And she didn't know that he did it just because he wanted to. It wasn't had nothing to do with you, actually. That's insane. And that's getting made into a movie.
Into a movie. Now, remember I told you that what I think is going to happen is not that.
They're gonna make it like Dubcon.
It's going to be Dubcon. It's going to be something more like um it's going to be told to the audience right up front. I like danger. I like this. I like that. So that there is no uh,
Miscommunication.
miscommunication to the audience that she likes this, she wants this.
Now let me say this. I think let me move in close to the mic.
Bring it forward. Bring it forward.
I think that I already forgot. Damn.
But
That be
that's the
happening.
thing. You think about it, but I just feel like people are being disingenuous because again, I
Oh,
don't
I
know
remembered.
what. Hold on, I don't know what anybody likes in their personal life. You could like to be watched. You could like danger. You could like almost drowning before you orgasm. That's on you, right? But the partner that you choose has to be in on what you like before they do it to you.
Yes, correct. All right, I remember what I was gonna say. Because I heard that she came out with a statement, and that was basically, and the statement basically said, this is paraphrasing, but the statement basically said, too sad, too bad, I don't care. Like,
But isn't that the way she was acting when all of those women were sucking dildos off of walls at an event that she was at,
where they
and
sexually
sexually?
assaulted her dancers that she brought? Yeah,
She was like, "Oh my
yeah,
God, I'm so mortified that y'all would do this. Why are you mortified when this is what you perpetuate? Now, are we grown enough to know wrong is wrong and right
yeah.
is right? Yes. But if you're grown enough to know wrong is wrong and right is right, you would also be grown enough to understand that these books are trash. And it don't seem that they understand that.
But you will also realize as an adult that some adults like to sexually assault people. So the ones that like to sexually assault people would come to your event because you write books about sexually assaulting people and it being okay.
And it being
So
a-okay.
so I will go to your event and then do what I like to do that no one else says I should be doing at your event. You brought them here for me to do this. But what I was going to say was a lot of people are making the defense, including her, like, you watch this nonsense, that doesn't mean you have to do said nonsense. But
Right.
here's
But
but here's
isn't
the
that the
thing.
same thought process on uh porn when they're doing tying up people in porn and doing all the stuff that they do in that, and then you have a person who grows up to do the same shit?
But here's the thing. You can It's so different because no one read 13 Reasons Why and was like, it's time to kill myself. Like, no one thought that. But after the show came out, a lot of teens did try to kill themselves and make it more of a fanfare while they did it. Because why the hell is she leaving 13 tapes? So it does happen, especially since we've realized a lot of younger people are reading books younger. We also realize that in the time we are in now in America, that men have more rights than they honestly, I feel like they ever had, even though they've always had all the rights. But men are allowed to sexually assault women and make that woman keep that baby to term. Men are the ones making rules on women's bodies. Men are the ones, like, all this nonsense is happening. You don't think a man who is upset that you would choose a bear over him would be like, see, I knew y'all like this stuff. Let's do it. You don't think so?
That's the thing too. I
You don't
knew
think
y'all
so?
like this, especially like what's weird to me, and I don't know if it's weird to other people, maybe it's just weird to me. It doesn't have to be weird to everybody. This one thing that I'm about to say.
Hiding things on your Kindle?
Hiding things on your Kindle, but also when women have husbands, right? And they
Yeah.
have
Mm-hmm.
these kinky sexual books, cuz mind you, I like a good smut book.
Mm-hmm.
But the person that you're with doesn't know the type of stuff that you read,
Mm-hmm. I know you're not doing
because
that in bed.
that means
Cause
that your sex life and y'all ain't doing, because mind you, your sex life can't be doing what they doing in these books. Yeah, it can't be. Especially when the husbands, when you see the videos and the husbands be reading the books and they be like,
this is what
"What
you
is
read?
this?"
I
They're
never
they're
understood
just
that.
as surprised as I am.
I never understood that thing of like, when I die, like, bury me with my Kindle, or if my husband asks me what I'm reading, like, I tell him the Bible or a classic or whatever. I'm like, what's so wrong about what you're
Right.
reading?
If you don't want anybody to know what kind of books you read, that already tells me what you read is some bullshit.
Because if I could tell my mama the smut book I'm reading, you should be able to tell the husband that you have kids with the smut book you're reading. Like, it's not that serious unless it is that serious. And
That part.
it's only that serious if what you're reading is scary. And honestly, H.D. Carlton is a scary author.
She is. She really is.
And this is not a whole Lolita thing where the author of that book wrote Lolita to show you the dangers of predators. And people made that into a sexualizing thing. This is not H.D. Carlton being like the dangers of sexual assaulters, the dangers of stalkers, and then the readers make it sexual. That is not, those are not the, no, she
Yeah,
wants you to
that's
think.
not what's going on in these books.
She wants you to be like, this stalker, this rapist, he's hot.
So
Like,
what he's doing is not as wrong as you may think it is.
and that's going to be every bad man's kryptonite, and every woman who just likes a gross book's downfall. Because the women who just like, here's the thing, there's a difference between you wanting a smutty movie or show, because
Yeah.
do I want to see Wicker? Yes, I
Yes.
do.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
But nothing in that trailer showed sexual assault, uh this Wicker man being mentally younger, or anything of the sort. This is a grown woman with a grown Wicker man dipping and doing it.
Oh my gosh.
When it H.D. Carlton reminds me of men who write or yeah, who write movies and books with odd sex dynamics. For example, all the men in the world right now are up in arms about the Wicker movie, being like, why would a woman want to have sex with a wicker basket? Why do you care, first of all? But these same men have watched movies written and directed by men where the man dates robots, dates AI, artificial intelligence, dates things that they made themselves, dates an alien that they found that was a baby when they found it, grew it up till age to have sex with it. Like they've watched things with all those type of things in it, and will be like, woman, why would you want to have sex with a wicker basket?
Right, right. But also, it also shows you, not to get off topic real quick, but if we will choose a bear, we will also choose a wicker
A wicker
basket.
basket. And also, it's Alex Skarsgård.
That
If that's
part.
the wicker basket, I'm going after the wicker basket. Like,
Anyway, let's move on since we've been on this topic for a very long time. We're just gonna jump to, we had a comment on our first episode of Burning Between Both Bookends from one of our watchers, and they wanted us to talk about romantasy. So I'm gonna let you take forefront on this one because romantasy is not really my forte. I do read it, but not as often as you might.
well, this comes from a conversation I had with um someone during our lives,
Hmm.
and we were talking about how neither of us are into modern fantasy anymore, which
Right.
has which has been mixed in with romantasy.
Hmm.
And the main reason is because everything is cut and paste and nothing is original anymore. Everyone
Okay.
realized that during the upsurge of book talk, let's just say, and all the new readers who haven't read for a while and they read for the first time and they're all reading Sarah Janet and all this stuff. Every author from the woodworks who've ever wanted to write a book came out with a Fae book, came out with a blank of blank and blank book.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone came out with so much that nothing felt original, but also nothing felt written. It felt like they were just going through the motions of what you should do in a romance or a fantasy book, and but there was no personality behind it. For
Hmm.
instance, they're enemies to lovers in this fantasy book, but you didn't even give us a reason that they're enemies. At most, the man's annoying. That's not a reason for me to hate you, though. Like
Yeah.
you give us enemies to lovers. You give us a plot of a journey we must go on for a character we don't care about, for a thing we don't know what actually it does,
Right.
for the ending of the book to be a cliffhanger that no one cares about to read the second book of. And I just it got so annoying to the point where I don't read many modern fantasies or romantasies anymore. I my favorite genre is urban fantasy, which for the most part is like paranormal. So there's werewolves, there's
Yeah.
vampires,
I
there's all
like
that
those
stuff.
too.
And they have like a million books in the series. Like one I just finished was the Guild Hunter series by Nilani Singh. That's Angels and Vampires. And then we have the Patricia Briggs series, Mercy Thompson. That's werewolves and fae and vampires. We have A Discovery of Witches. That's witches, vampires, demons. We have all of that stuff. And that is a found family, most likely, with great character writing that develops through each book. And it's just better written, in my opinion. And a lot of these series started in like 2007. Like, it's just,
Well, here's my little piece of this. I think people also feel like they're reading the same thing over and over because they're not
yes.
branching out of what they like to read. If you like romantasy, how about you try a black author? How about you try a brown author?
Mm-hmm.
How about you try a different subgenre of that? Let's move
That's how
away
I
from
got.
fae.
That's how I got into urban fantasy.
That's
because
what I'm saying.
I
Let's move away from Faye.
mhm
Let's do something else. Because it gives me that conversation kind of everybody's reading the same books. You know, when there's a person on TikTok or wherever that goes, why do I keep getting promoted the same two books?
could never be me.
Because that's your For You page.
Yeah.
You are reading people, or you are watching people that are only reading the same things. You have to switch up your algorithm if you're going to be on TikTok, or Instagram or wherever. Also, you might need to watch different people. What do you like to read? That's what I always ask people. When people ask me for recommendations, I don't really give them anymore because I don't
Mm-mm.
know you. I don't know you. I don't know what you like to read. And I
Mm-mm.
might say, oh, if a person says, I like urban fiction, and I'm like, okay, what kind? Right? You have to know what you like to read. Because if
Yeah.
I say, if you say you like urban fiction and I throw some urban fiction romance in there, you're like, no, no, they're doing too much kissing and stuff. I want them to only be shooting up shit.
Mhm.
Oh, you okay, so that's what you like. That's what you
Mhm.
need to go find.
Mhm.
Those are the authors you need to read. There's more than just Sarah Janet. There's more than just um there's so many of them though at this point. There's just so many more authors than the ones that you see.
But I also feel
You
like a lot of
could
people are,
do
like you
indie as
said,
well.
yes, but I think a lot of people are also, like you said, freaked out because
They want sex and everything.
there's no reason for me to have to do chili peppers on the side of books. You read the book and you find out for yourself. But also, but
Yeah.
also, people saw that people liked Sarah Janice Akatar more than they like Sarah Janice Throne of Glass. What's the main difference other than like literal plot? Akatar has sex. Throne of Glass does not. My favorite is Throne of Glass. I love Throne of Glass way more. But people saw that. People saw most of the things that were going viral on TikTok were, oh my god, like, this was so spicy, this was so raunchy. Blah, 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 blah. So what did people write? They wrote porn with no plot. And the porn ain't even that good. Like you're writing fake yearning and fake like enemies to lovers because that's what you see everybody reading, but it has no substance. But it's gonna sell. It's gonna, because before I know it's bad, I gotta buy it. And that's the thing about a lot of authors that and publishers is like, see, your book's so good. They love this book. Well, I had to buy it to read it. So
Right. I
it's
had to
like,
buy it first.
so yes, your sales are up, but after I read it and I find out that it's trash, your sales are going to be very low for book two. And I think that's the thing that people keep on
And that's
forgetting.
usually how it goes too. A book sells so much, and
Mm-hmm.
and the author has already signed a book deal for books 1, 2, and 3, right? So books 1, 2, and 3, regardless of how anything goes, are going to come out regardless. Book 1 sells amazingly because everyone is thinking this is going to be the next Sarah Janet or whatever the hell it is, right? You read it, you're like, no. Book 2 doesn't even reach the thousands of people who reviewed this book. It doesn't matter how many people
Yeah.
bought it, but people who have reviewed this or put it on a shelf that they want to read this. Then you get to the third book, nearly non
No
existent.
one. No one. Yeah. And then
So you
there's
go
books
from a
out
million
there.
people who done read or wanted to read your book to now you go to the second book that has like 5,000.
Yeah.
And then the third book has 250.
And there's many books out there, fantasy books out there that I've read that don't have nearly as many reviews as it should, as many readers as it should. And then there's books out there that have so many readers and not a lick of a plot in sight. I just read and DNF'd The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. And I got like 55, 65 pages in. And I could literally read the other books in this book. I read The Selection. I read The Crew Prince. I read The Red Queen. I read those lines in this book. Not actually like plagiarism like that, but as in that happened in The Selection. That happened in The Red Queen. That happened in The Crew Prince. And it's because even when I don't mind. I'm a girl who loves a formula. So if I find something I like in a romance, I'll probably read like 10 more romances just like it.
Yeah,
Same thing with fantasy. Hello, I have 15 different urban fantasy authors on my shelves right now. A lot of them do similar things. But you are a different author. So it's never going to be exactly the same. But why is it that every time I read a book about Fae, they're low key all the exact same?
yeah.
Like y'all, they're imaginary things. Vampires and demons and werewolves, for all we know, are not real. So you can do whatever you want to them. If you want to make your vampire have wings, let them. If you want to make your
That's
vampire
my
like,
whole thing
let them.
too. These are imaginary scenarios. These are made up things. You can have these things do whatever you want them to do.
Whatever.
Also, I think there's also this thing where people don't like to read unserious books. Okay. I love an unserious book. I love something that I'm going to be like, what the hell? But I'm entertained.
Mm.
I'm entertained. There ain't shit going on really in this book, but I'm entertained, right? But also, I don't think the author, hopefully, because I
Mm.
don't know these people, are not taking themselves seriously with printing this unserious book. Because if I see a book like Unchained, like the books that I'm reading with the vampires in it, where they say Dante Gabriel every single time she has to say that man's name, she says the full fucking name.
Or the time I got saved by a demon, or the time I saved the demon, whatever those books are called.
Those are not my thing. Is they're entertaining, they're fun. They do have smut in them, they do have romance, they do have all the things that are nonsensical and sensical. However, if I was to see that on a top 100 books of books you need to read before you die, I'm gonna be pissed, because why do I need to read that?
I wouldn't be pissed because, yeah,
All of it.
have some
It's
have some whimsy in your life. You should read that before you die.
whimsy is fine, but when I say don't take it too serious,
Mm.
that's what I mean by it. Like, whimsy is fine because I'm reading them. I'm whimsical in my reading of nonsensical things. But I also don't want you to think that someone's memoir or something and your nonsensical book where you're saying Dante Gabriel 18 times in this book needs to
Yeah.
be on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Or we need to have a debate about it on TikTok. Like, who's the best writer? Michelle Obama or Kimberly Lemon? Like, stop it.
But I'm
Okay.
also one of those people who I don't. I think those lists are bogus because most of them are sad books. So you just want me to be sad.
But those lists also don't make no sense because they don't be having the right diversity in it. And who the fuck read those books? Who read them?
And
Because
then
every time you see somebody do a like a go through of the list, right? Um, most people be like, I haven't read 90% of the books on this list. So who actually read this? Who
and it'd
is
be
reading these
it
books?
mainly white people, and it'd be a random gay person for some diversity, a random Toni Morrison book, a random,
A one that, you know what? It'd be the most random Toni Morrison book as well.
and then mind you, like no book by Toni Morrison is random, but like this look list of white people just pop in a Toni Morrison, maybe an Octavia Butler, keep it pushing, and most of the books are either long and sad, short and sad, they're alone and sad,
Just sad.
or it's a memoir about their life. I don't care about no one enough. No one.
I don't care about nobody enough to read a
No
memoir
one.
by them. I do not.
No one.
And most of the people I do care about and want to know about, they're still here. So why would I read about your life? You still here?
I don't care about no one enough.
But we have covered those topics, y'all. We've been here a little over an hour. So we're going to cut it here. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for our next and third episode. I'm having so much fun. Again, if you want us to discuss any types of topics, like one of our watchers did with Romantasy, you can just plop it down in the comments and we'll try to fit it in to an episode. I'm not going to promise that it will be the exact next episode, but we will get to your topic eventually. So yeah, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, not really. I just wanted to say like thank you guys for watching. Do leave comments because we do look at the comments. And Sarah Kay is the one who left the Romantasy comment because we were talking about that in our live. So if you do want to leave a comment, we will read it and we will talk about it on the show. At least we'll try to. And yeah. Also, give us updates on any of the things that we talked about. So if there's updates on the drama between the H.D.
Right.
Carlton movie coming out or the Children of Blood and Bone and the authors, let us know that also in the comments. I know some off-campus drama dealing with the characters from the coming up seasons,
Oh, I didn't
but
even hear any of that.
yeah. So let us know that stuff in the comments. I do love mess, so let us know that.
Right. So I am Sasha Bonet from Reading Sprints and Chai Sips.
And I'm Karen from Between Paperback Worlds.
And we will definitely see you in the next one. Bye.